Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Four Eyes Academia, the podcast. Today we are joined by Ponle, Chris, and myself, Toots. Say hi, everyone.
Yo.
What's up? What's going on?
Ignore my hand size. I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah.
Okay. Today's topic, well, it's still the spooky season, so we're keeping in line with the themes. We're talking about horror games this time around. Last week it was horror movies, so today we're talking about everything horror games. But before we get into everything, we just want to catch up with everyone. So what's everyone been reading, watching, playing the past week?
Me, I've just been playing, the new Pokemon DLC came up. I've started playing that little bit, Crown Tundra. So far, it's better than the first one, but I've really not done much on it too much yet. And I've started Ghost of Tsushima Legends as well, finally. And that has been quite fun, actually. So those are really two games I've been playing this week. And my usual Monster Hunter. Plus a little bit of Mario Kart here and there this week. So yeah.
What actually is the Pokemon DLC about?
It's just really just going exploration. It's like there's some new legendary that apparently called the King of Harvest. That's I'd say a bit corny, but yeah, there's a new legendary base, and there's also it splits up into like different. You go with this explorer, give you something with all these different legendaries to find around the map. So it's got the mascot legendary for this DLC. His name is Calrex, and then you've got the legendary birds. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. They've got new forms, Galarian forms, so they're all around. Okay. Plus, there's two new Reggies as well, because back in Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, you had like Reggie-Ice, Rock, and Steel. And still, yeah, you've got now two new ones, which is Reggie-Alecki and Reggie Draco. So they're the two new ones as well, which you go and find around the map. So it's just to do with a lot of finding the legendaries, and it's got some new kind of 4-player Dynamax adventures. Kind of like, I'm just trying to think what I can compare it to. Because they get with this one, the new feature they've added, you go with a team of up to 4. You get to choose rental Pokemon, and then it's kind of like a labyrinth where you go, you choose one route, different paths. I think there's like so each one, so say you got an electric Pokemon on one side and a water Pokemon on each side, so everyone chooses, makes their choice. Most choices, you go to that side, the paths branch off, and then it leads up to the end where you to a legendary Pokemon that you fight at the end, and you get the chance to capture, and you only can capture it once. But yeah, it's not bad actually, the DLC. It's better than Isle of Armor, to be fair. So yeah.
I only asked because obviously, if you follow us on Twitch, you would have seen. We had a stream, and even watching the stream, I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" But
yeah, it was just me and Prime just doing that Dynamax Adventures, which was just going through the labyrinth again and again, just capturing legendaries. Yeah.
Because I haven't played any Pokemon seriously since Pokemon Black, so I don't know anything about.
Oh, that's fair.
Have you got
Pokemon? That bad.
I bought Pokemon Moon. I played it for about 4 hours, and then I never played it again.
Oh, really?
Same story with Pokemon X. I bought that, picked it up. Just
yeah, I understand with X. I played X. It wasn't really great, but I played the hell out of it because just for the competitive side. But yeah, it wasn't that great. I don't think Pokemon X was.
Cool. Chris, what have you been up to?
Well, yes. Yes, COD.
Just
COD. Just COD. What else did I play? I've been playing a bit of Mario 64.
Okay. Did you buy the?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought the 35th anniversary edition. Yeah, and it's okay. It's exactly how I remember it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do sometimes wish they incorporated bits of the DS remake into it, especially the character models. But
yeah, I agree with you there as well. Actually, I would have liked if they did actually do those models on that, but they just really kept it as like a translate. It seemed like
it's a direct port, isn't it?
Yeah, direct port with like
even the resolution is the exact same.
Yeah, with just some textures improved. That's it. But
yeah.
I never play.
I don't know. I played a bit of that. I played what else? I played something else this week. I don't usually play. Fire Emblem.
Three Houses.
Three Houses.
I need to finish that still.
Listen, I'm pretty much at the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Pretty much at the beginning. I bought it and I was still writing my dissertation. So I was like, this is going to be my reward when I finally submit this. So as soon as I submitted my dissertation, I played it obsessively for like 90 hours straight. And then I'm the route I'm in, I'm 2 chapters. I'm on the penultimate chapter before finishing it. And I was like, oh, I don't want it to be over yet. So I just stopped playing. And that was about 6 months ago. So, it's like, more than 6 months ago, because 6 months ago was like the beginning of lockdown, I think. Yeah. I think it might have been last year. It was the last time I played that game.
I know exactly what you mean by not wanting it to end. I've done that so many times. Usually do it with anime.
Yeah, I'm still watching Dora Hedora from last season.
Yeah, I did that with Samurai Champloo. I got to the final episode.
Oh.
And I chose not to watch it for 2 years.
That was me. I started in year 10. I didn't finish it until I got to uni.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't want to finish it. I don't know why. I just liked it that much.
Yeah, I hear that.
I hear you on that one.
Yeah. What have I been playing? Splatoon, obviously. I've been playing a bit of Super Mario 64 as well. Like you guys said, it's exactly how I remember it, but I think I kind of forgot just how expensive the game is, because obviously the setting is Princess Peach's castle, and you have the world inside the paintings, but I forgot just how many things come up as you collect more power stars.
It's true.
They kind of just slipped my memory until I got like 12 power stars, and I realized, oh yeah, I'm thinking, where I remember like getting attacked by the possessed piano. I was like, how far into the game is that? Like, I just kind of remembered all these things afterwards. So yeah, I've been having fun like jogging my memory and
that's been me as well, because I've been playing that a bit as well actually. I think to be fair, I'm only like, I've done a bit of Bob Bomb's Battlefield and From Fortress. I've just been playing gradually through, and then I remember I know I have to do a few more to get like the wing cap, etc. It's just it's a good run of nostalgia that's hitting me.
Yeah. Because you remember a lot, but you also forget quite a bit. So yeah, so you explained that. Yeah. What else have I been playing?
Persona.
I've been playing Persona 5 very slowly. I'm still in flipping Kamoshida's palace. It's the worst palace. It's even more of a chore this time around. I think because I've done it already.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm just like stuck in this bit. I'm like, wait, how have I forgotten where to go? So I'm just gonna get a young walkthrough and get on with it.
Get through. Yeah.
Convenience.
So I can get on with the rest of the game, because after Kamoshida's, literally, because Kamoshida's palace is kind of like a tutorial bit of the game as well. So once you get on with that, the game really starts in earnest. So I just want to hurry up and finish this palace.
Yeah, you're right. That exactly was the same with me. I remember when I played it. It's just once you get through that palace, then it starts.
It starts really
picks up.
Yeah, I really want to hurry up and get into the third semester. You guys keep talking about.
I keep telling you that is the best palace in the game, and it's got the best theme and the best boss.
Because as much as I love Persona and Persona games, like the dungeons have never really been
a fan of
like something I enjoyed playing, but you guys keep hyping it up, so I just want to see what it's about.
Sorry, I just love that the third semester palace. I just loved it. Amazing. I just loved all the theme, the music, everything, the whole setting, and then when you realize who the boss was, he was such a great villain. It's in the game. But I'm not going to say no more because I don't want to be spoiling.
I really want to hurry up and get on with it. But yeah.
Yeah.
What a clock? I beg.
Ignore him to take your time. Take your time.
I keep falling for it. But yeah. So before we get into the main topic as well, we just want to catch up on some of the news that's been going around the past week. So the first item, we got a bunch of stuff, but I think just to get this out of the way, I'm sure everyone has seen the kerfuffle with Alex Hutchinson.
That's why stage is failing.
Alex Hutchinson, the creative director of Google Stadia, made a very controversial tweet. I actually brought it up, so I don't like paraphrase. He said, streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they use music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. Now, he got ratioed. He's currently sitting at 400 retweets and over 5,000 quote tweets he's just getting cooked basically. And then he doubled down saying the real truth is the streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content they use. So yeah, thoughts?
Man,
I don't know what his problem is. I don't know what his problem is. It just sounds like hate.
I think it's crack. That's
yeah, exactly. I think it's crack.
Theory.
I think his colleagues think it's crack as well, because they distance themselves as well. I've even got a few comments actually from Google Stadia. Even for one, a spokesperson for Google even said the recent tweets by Alex Hutchinson do not reflect those of Stadia, YouTube, or Google. And Google's global head of gaming for YouTube, Ryan Watt, even tweeted, "We believe that publishers and creators have a wonderful symbiotic relationship that has allowed a thriving ecosystem to be created, one that has mutually benefited everyone. YouTube is focused on creating value for creators, publishers, and users. All ships rise when we work together." So yeah, they basically distanced themselves from Alex's comments and basically they don't want that smoke. So
if they were still in the office, they would have knocked on his door like, "Do you have a minute, Alex?" Just to... I don't know how he thought that was going to go down on Twitter, where all the creators are, but okay.
It was mad that he actually doubled down as well. He was doubling down on his comments as well way after he tweeted that as well.
Down on that?
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's very strange.
Like Ted says, it must be crack. It literally must be crack.
I was trying to see it
planning on getting Stadia?
I wasn't before, but now I can act like I was going to, and just be like, "Oh, you know, these people, blah blah blah," and just say that's why I'm not getting it, but I wasn't getting it.
I can't lie. When there's Microsoft and xCloud on the horizon, why am I going to bother with Stadia?
There's Xbox at home.
Yes, cloud is already a proposition even before it's even come out. Stadia paying basically $60 or £60, whatever else, to rent just for a rental. Stadia's never really been. I don't think they implemented it well anyway.
No.
So yeah, I'm still not interested in that, and I don't think I will anytime soon.
I was trying to see it from his point of view as like a publisher, because there's like a similar kind of debate amongst authors and like libraries, like, oh, if you don't buy the book and you just rent it, just check it out at the library, it means that less money is going to them, so they're trying to like boycott libraries. That was very strange as well. But even then, you could kind of see it from an author's point of view, like if they're not well informed, they might feel like they're losing money that way, not knowing that libraries still buy the books, you still get royalties, blah blah blah. So I was trying to see it from his point of view in that case, but it makes even less sense in this context, because it's like, these streamers, they've already bought the game. Why should they? They're giving the companies free advertising. It's the other way around. Companies approach streamers like it's free advertising for them.
It's true, and the also thing about that as well. So he's basically saying we pay them, and it's going to go anyway to the higher ups. Anyway, the money's going to their higher up pockets anyway, not even to the developers as much.
Exactly.
It will go higher up, and they really get enough money anyway from a lot of these companies when he's doing microtransactions, etc. How much more money do you want?
And it's not going to the developers. He's trying to seem like he's advocating for.
No, you know it's not really going to go to them. It's just going to go up to the board directors, etc. above. So, and then the developers get a fraction of that money. So. I don't know. I can't lie. I don't. His comments didn't make sense to me.
He's just not okay. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think there's something.
I agree.
He's too out of touch for someone who works in the industry. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly that. He's exactly that. But yeah.
So yeah, I think everyone's unanimous on that, apart from Alex Hutchinson himself. So next piece of news, which would suddenly I think should be a joy to everyone who's dealt with joycons: Nintendo to permanently reduce the price of joycons. I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know by how much, but
I think it's just like, I'm not sure what is the UK price. How much are they for the UK? Because
like 80?
I know that's for two. I think they don't even have single Joy-Cons here yet, because I think they are
single.
I don't think so.
I'm not too sure, but
because I saw the price, I just said, "Fuck it, I'll get my Pro controller. It's not worth it."
Yeah, because I think when I read the article, it was going off the US prices for a single one. So a single one was like $49.90 or $50, and it was reduced.
What the hell?
Yeah, $50
for one
Joy-Con. Yeah, $50 for one Joy-Con.
$50.
One Joy-Con.
Yeah,
$50.
it was. It was $50. They reduced it now. It's now $40. So,
my Joy-Cons are decoration in my bookshelf, by the way, to make myself look like a gamer because I didn't replace them. I couldn't be bothered. I just got my Pro controller.
Oh, they don't work at all.
I flung one in frustration during Splatoon, and then the other one started drifting like mad. So they're useless.
Let's talk about that.
Talk about what?
Hold on, Bonley.
Yeah.
How do you get frustrated playing Splatoon?
Excuse me, you've never done Salmon on an overachiever, Chris. You don't play Splatoon anymore.
I did.
How would you know?
From time to time.
If anyone watching has been stuck in overachiever for a prolonged amount of time, with people who don't know how to play the game, who are keeping you that one step away
flinging controllers.
Let's say flinging and being hyperbolic, okay? I didn't fling the controller. I just and I threw it on my lap, and then these are so flimsy that
it broke on your lap.
To be fair, I'm sure.
Why am I explaining it?
I think I did fling I think I actually have flung a Joy-Con playing Splatoon, but that was doing the Octopath expansion because that thing.
That's understandable. I didn't even.
That expansion is hard as hell, and I got frustrated on one level. I remember the level that I got frustrated on, the one where I had to guard one thing from getting completely splattered from the Octolings, and these guys they ramped up the CPU to stupid extra hard. The amount of frustration that level caused me, that made me fling my Joy-Con. I remember because I was getting so angry. I got so angry. 2 minutes to try and defend this stupid place from them. I'm even getting PTSD from remembering it.
The regular story mode caused me too much stress.
Something you do regularly, throwing controllers.
No, it's not something I do regularly. Like, fuck off. I bet if I watch you play COD, I'll be so horrified. I don't question you about it though, because I'm a good mate.
Do you know what it is?
Live your life.
I don't. Yeah. No, I get frustrated playing loads of different games, mostly FIFA. But I think for the most part, I don't fling controllers. I'm not one of those guys. I feel like it's too expensive to replace, so I just think.
I've flung controllers a couple of times. Smash Bros as well as maybe fling.
I know people who like regularly smash controllers.
Yeah, I mean we're too old for that. I mean mine was literally just like, oh my god, I died again. Like I'm tired, and I just flung it on my bed, and just that gentle impact was enough to. I think my controllers were drifting already because of I was playing Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing. I was terraforming. My controllers weren't working correctly.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons they have a notorious history of doing that.
Yeah,
I've got new Joy-Cons anyway. I did end up during the start of lockdown getting new Joy-Cons. Yeah. I just got tired of my ones.
Yeah.
Too much
drifting. My PS4 pads are drifting.
Really?
They got stick drift. Yeah.
I think one of my PS4 pads. Did that happen too? It was more so
the right stick for me.
I think my PS4 pad was more so the D-pad stopped working. One of them just randomly stopped working. So yeah, I ended up getting a new pad as well. That was ages ago.
Well, I mean, this news doesn't affect me. I've got my Pro controller now, and I play docked 90% of the time, so
Same.
I'm okay whether the price goes down or not.
I'm the complete opposite.
A lot of people do the opposite. They don't play docked at all. I know people who haven't played docked once since they got it.
Yeah, I know people who've never even set it up.
No.
Yeah, never.
Oh wow, yeah, that's to be fair. I play 90% of the time docked as well. To be honest, when I'm at home, I'm always playing docked. Only when I'm out, I play undocked because I like playing my phone controller, as you can see here.
Yeah. If I take it out of my house, then I'll play undocked. That's it. Literally.
I think the reason I played undocked was because my old monitor only had one HDMI port. And so switching it to play, I didn't get the adapter, so switching it was just long. So I just thought, let me just do it by undocked. Sorry, it was just easier that way.
Okay. Makes sense. Next piece of news is PlayStation 5. Third-party companies already selling custom faceplates. So PlayStation 5 is the name of the company, is selling unofficial PS5 faceplates, and they will allow you to change your white PS5 to either cherry red, chromatic, indigo blue, jungle camo, or limited edition kind of like design as well. Is anyone gonna customize?
Not yet.
Their brand new PS5?
No.
I'm not
third party.
I don't know. I'll wait and see eventually how if they're good, because I'm not too sure. I'm on the fence with these ones because since it's a bit early, I'm gonna wait and see a little bit until like more come out, and then more maybe see if Sony does official ones, etc. Then I'll probably maybe, but I will get around eventually to changing that because as they said, it seems that they can be customized.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna get rid of that white once I'm more certain I will and more comfortable with doing that. I will, because like I said, I can't lie, PS5 still looks ugly. I'm not a fan of this.
I feel like I'm still not comprehending just how big it is, even though I'm seeing these size comparisons.
It's a big boy.
Big as hell.
Big chungus.
Looks like a big bitch. Like,
big chungus.
She thick.
Exactly. Yeah, she thick.
Does anyone know the dimensions? Like, how tall is it?
How tall is she?
There was the dimensions before, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. I've seen the dimensions, but I can't remember them.
Clean over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Like, but what I know is compared to the Xbox Series X, it stands a lot taller than it. Like a good third taller than it.
The Xbox looks nice. It's just like a PC.
Yeah, I like this. I like the Xbox. It's simple. It's just simplicity. I don't know. Sorry, just wanted to do extra and all of this two-tone.
Giving it. How can you give a console sleeves?
Yeah, just looks like a very, very, very large Wi-Fi router.
Massive Seto Kaiba.
It does look like Seto Kaiba.
It does.
The turned up color.
Wait, I'm sure I've seen memes of that.
That's the first one I saw. It killed me. Nothing's topped that one since.
You gotta love the internet. You can make a meme of anything.
And they were quick as well.
They were quick. Efficiency.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next piece of news is 2K under fire for adding unskippable in-game ads to the full price NBA 2K21 a month after release. There's an update to this article says 2K suggests ad placement was a mistake, promises fix.
They are lying. They knew what they were doing. They wanted to get away with it.
They're trying to hit the back.
Any means possible, any little thing they can try.
For a full price game, that's so cheeky.
It's absolutely cheeky. Yeah, 2K are absolutely cheeky for that. It's the thing as well where they would have done it. You know, when it came to the next gen with the faster loading times, it would have made loading times longer just to show the ads as well. So they're absolutely taking the mick. Fully taking the mick. You're paying that much money for a AAA full price game and you're still trying to make more money. You've already got microtransactions in the game, all these roulette or whatever, like proper gambling scene in the game, and yet you also want to put these unskippable ads. They're taking the mick. Honestly, I don't really play 2K like that, but I know I'd be fuming if it was me because I paid this much money for a premium product that I wanted to enjoy, and now you're trying to force more things onto me. I can't even skip ads, etc.
I mean, if the ads were in there, it was bad enough. The fact that they were unskippable is just okay.
It's just terrible.
Maybe they should have a Kindle model where you pay more for the ad-free version, or you pay less for the ad-free version. With the ad version, sorry.
Yeah, they
I feel like we're going down that route. Anyway.
That route, yeah. It's, you know what smacks it as well, because when the game came out September, didn't it? So they waited over a month just to now come and bring this in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like
it wasn't straight away.
It was a month after
they
release.
snuck it in.
Yeah, they snuck it in a month after release.
Yeah. So people were saying that they waited for all the reviews to come out and then they added it.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense.
They want to say it's a mistake now.
It's a joke because I said they even said they're one of the first to say that the prices of their games will be more expensive on the new gen as well. Be £10 more expensive, this and that. Then they've done this as well.
Would you pay £10 more for no ads?
No.
I'm buying the game.
Well,
let's say it was a model for all games.
Oh yeah, I'd have to pay the extra. I'm sorry. I'm on my knees almost to pay YouTube Premium because these double ads are hamming me. So I think just for the inconvenience, I would pay the extra. I
would pay it, but
I'll be furious.
My hand will be shaking like this.
YouTube ads are insanity.
They're absolutely ridiculous. 5 minutes, no, not even 5 minutes, every 5 seconds you see like 2 ads, and I'm just like, oh Lord have mercy on my life, please. I just watch my video without being interrupted.
I turned off my ad block once and I didn't realize I was watching YouTube. It was incessant. Like, I'm watching a 10-minute video and I've had about 10 minutes worth of ads. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, the thing is, I've got my ad block on my laptop, so I don't mind watching YouTube. Then it's when I'm watching my PS4 or my phone.
Yeah, there's no point.
The ads. My mind feels like it's gonna get hot because I just see, and then an ad will come up, like you'll see the one. I'm thinking, no, ad coming up in a few seconds.
It's not even relevant as well. It's like
whatever.
It's just TikTok.
It's just frustrating seeing all these ads, man. But if games didn't go down that route,
I mean, I'll pay, but I'm gonna be mad about it.
I'll be absolutely mad.
I'll be mad about it.
Absolutely, they make enough money as it is as well. These AAA big businesses, they make so much money as it is. They got they pan people with microtransactions as well, loot boxes, etc. Well, how much more do you want to do?
Even those
more money.
At the end of the day, it's just business, isn't it? That's how they got bigger than films and music.
Funny enough, talking about loot boxes, I also remember Canada. There's a lawsuit against EA in Canada as well now.
Good. Oh, okay. What was it Belgium? The last one was in, or
LA?
California.
There was one in Belgium, no?
There was one in Belgium. Not EA.
Belgium banned Belgium.
Oh, Belgium banned it. Banned it.
Loot boxes are banned in Belgium. But it was California that had a class action lawsuit against EA, and now Canada have this. I think this week I've seen they've got a class action lawsuit against EA and its loot boxes and suing for royalties, etc. So yeah, so it's not going to go away for EA anyway.
That's good.
For loot boxes, so yeah.
Well, I hope someone takes him to court before this ad stuff gets implemented. Just nip that in the bud.
Hey, one more piece of news before we just go to the topic, which made me laugh as well. It's on Smash Ultimate, they nerfed Steve's meat. Let me even go into
that didn't take long, did it?
Yeah, that didn't take long. I think even because Phil Spencer got interviewed about it, actually. Someone asked him, have you seen this, like Steve's meat or whatever? Because you can see the Steve's victory screen after he shoots the meat, and it looks like, it does. The picture does look a bit mad when you look at it. The meat just hanging where it's just the position of it. And then Phil Spencer even said that will get fixed soon, and then got fixed. So it got. I think
the memes are just people just saying Steve's meat got nerfed.
The memes, I've known that there was plenty of memes of that, but it was funny. I can't lie, but Nintendo had to act quickly, I guess.
Yeah, so that's very scary. Speaking of scary stuff, the main topic of our discussion is horror games. So I just wanted to start this off by saying that I was trying to rack my brain for my memories, and I've realized I've actually never played a horror video game with my own two hands. I've watched other people play.
Way.
So that's
no
so.
Way.
That sounds I know it's so surprising, but
fraud.
To be fair, I don't really play.
Guys, I don't read books. I don't play games. I'm just
this is
vibes.
fraudulent.
I'm here for the vibe. I don't watch anime.
Chris, you're a horror game guy here.
What are we doing here?
But having said that, I do have favorite horror games because I watch other people play and I enjoy that experience. I don't buy horror games myself because it's a waste of everyone's time and my own money, because I know I'll never complete it because I'm a scaredy cat. I'm a coward. But
that's me as well.
One of my favorite games, one of my favorite horror games is the original Silent Hill, the first one on the PlayStation.
That Pyramid Head.
With Pyramid Head, with the polygon graphics, that was terrifying.
Maybe the graphics are scary in themselves.
Maybe also because of the graphics as well. It's you have to use your imagination a bit, and that makes it even scarier. It's how the Titans that look like humans are the scariest, and the ones that look like monsters aren't scary. It's yeah. What else?
Uncanny Valley.
Yes, that's it. What else do I like? The Evil Within. I think that came out.
I've heard of that. I mean, no, obviously everyone's heard of it, but I've seen bits. I haven't actually played it.
I haven't played. I watched the Rad Brad play that on YouTube. I didn't even know when the sequel came out, but there was a sequel. I haven't checked that out, but I did like that one. There was also I think the first one that got popularized due to like Let's Players on YouTube, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs. That was scary. Remember that one? And this one, Neil Druckmann doesn't describe The Last of Us as horror, but I think it's scary as shit. So to me, that's a horror.
I think The Last of Us is a horror. I think The Last of Us is horror.
He describes it as action, adventure, survival.
Yeah, it's still horror. You got. Them people are zombies, are they not, or something like that?
I didn't realize there was a debate over it. I was just like, yeah, it's survival horror. But apparently, Neil Druckmann himself says it's not a horror game. And lots of fans are like, yeah, just because there's zombies doesn't mean it's a horror. It's like an action adventure. But in my mind, it's a horror. So yeah, The Last of Us, the first one. That's a.
Yeah, I think that's another discussion that we'll have today.
That's a good discussion.
Games that are scary but not really cast as horrors.
Games with zombies aren't horror games.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's my pick. I wonder what everyone else's like favorite horror games are.
To be fair, I don't really play horror games either because I'm a shooketh one as well. But I think I did watch a lot of Resident Evil 3 and 4. I think my friend was it Resident Evil 4 that came on the GameCube?
I've never watched or played
Resident 4.
What came out on the game?
Resident Evil was on Wii.
Which Resident Evil game came out?
Resident Evil
Zero. I know Zero
Zero
came out, and I thought another Resident Evil game came out before. It didn't. I know it didn't do well on the GameCube because the GameCube didn't sell super well.
There was Zero, and there was another. I think there was like another one. I don't know if Resident Evil 3 was out with Nemesis was on GameCube. I don't know if it ever got a release.
I don't know. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Resident Evil 3, I think that's quite an iconic game. Nemesis, what a guy he was. Oh boy. Mr. 2, what's his name? Mr. 2, was it? In the previous one. Or Mr. What's the name
X?
of the Mr. X? Oh my gosh, Mr. X.
Mr. 2.
Can you imagine? What? I
One Piece?
I can't lie, I mixed up One Piece. But yeah, Nemesis was Mr. X on steroids. But Silent Hill games as well, they're quite iconic. And I just remember some iconic like characters in these games. Like I said, Pyramid Head in Silent Hill, you got Nemesis in Resident Evil 3. Even I'm trying to think with 4 as well. Was it what was the 4? What was the one where it had that salamander kind of enemy? You know, the one in the was that which Resident Evil game was that? Chris?
Might have been 4.
I think it was 4, wasn't it?
It might
that
have been
mutated salamander. That thing was scary as hell. I can't remember the name, but that thing was scary as hell. But Resident Evil, they've got a good collection of games for Resident Evil. Games, I'm trying to think. Manhunt, would you say that as...
Did you play that?
I've watched a friend play it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't replay it myself.
My bad.
They somehow got it. I don't know because didn't it get banned here for a bit?
Manhunt 2 did.
Yeah, Manhunt 2 got banned here. Manhunt 2 got banned here.
Just because it was graphic or what?
Yeah, the
violence was deemed as too excessive.
Yeah.
I think it did eventually get released here.
Yeah,
but they have really toned down violence. They toned down, so the game's not how it was intended to be.
Yeah, they had to censor a lot to get a release here. So yeah,
it was really graphic though.
It was very graphic.
Basically, I think the government had a problem with how you were rewarded for causing as much harm and mutilation as possible.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I remember I played I don't know if you guys remember it, Madwell.
Yes. Oh, I loved Madwell. I loved that shit. I loved Madwell. That was fun. I found that fun.
Madwell on Wii had a very similar kind of point system.
Yeah, it did because it was like a game. It was a game show basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he always said. I think you had to cause as much violence, etc., as possible. Then you took on.
Yeah, you had to.
Then you took on. I say the boss was kind of like someone else, was like another. They were in the game show, whatever else. But yeah, you had to inflict as much violence, etc., as possible.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you remember it, because I remember it did have ads, but it was black and white.
Yeah, it was.
And then the blood was red. It was quite.
That does sound familiar.
the style you compare to like Sim City, would you?
Who made the game?
Sega. I'm sure it was Sega.
It was Sega, but the actual developers developed another game that was quite. Was it similar? I don't know. Think of the way I think of it is think of like Gears of War character models.
Oh, it's Platinum Games. Platinum Games made Mad World.
Yeah, it was
Platinum Games that made Mad World.
So think of like, Gears of War character models, but the game is completely black and white. It's on the Wii, and you're there to cut people up into pieces, put people on stakes, throw them into trains. I've still got it actually. The game.
Yeah, the assortment of weapons to use, like a chainsaw coming out of your.
He'd just pick up anything. He had baseball bat. He'd whack people. I don't know if I'd consider that a horror game.
I don't think it was.
Again, there's this. Yeah, there's the way these themes like overlap.
It's a hack and slash game, but
that's the thing, because there's violence and then there's horror.
Yeah, gore doesn't always mean horror, because then that would mean Doom is a horror game. And it's not, even though it's set in hell.
Yeah. I think there was a time when games were considered horror if they had those kind of scary elements. But I think with the advancement of gaming, we can now differentiate between the two quite well.
Everything's been diversified.
What about Slender Man? Did anyone ever play that?
I actually did play that one, so I'm a kappa. I played it for a very short while, and my friend was with me. I was not playing it by myself. She's like, "Oh yeah, let's make it even more like immersive. You have to turn off the lights." I said, "Why?" But yeah, we did turn off the lights on my laptop playing Slender Man.
Did she record you as well? That was a thing back then.
No, she didn't. She was just as scared as me. She lasted longer than I did, but I barely count that as an experience because I was just like, "Nope, I'm tapping out." I think I have a fragile heart. Like, I can't do that shit.
I hear you on that.
I think, unlike you guys, I think I've actually played quite a few horror games.
You're just realizing now how many you've played.
You're a local horror game expert, because please me.
And but you know what it is? I'm not the biggest fan of horror anyway. Like the genre, I don't tend to be the biggest fan. But I think where back in the day you just kind of play whatever was around. And it's not like I'd buy these games. A lot of these games I don't still own, but I might have gone to a friend's house or borrowed it or something. But my favorite horror game will probably be Resident Evil 4. And I know there's like massive debates because people consider it one of the least scary Resident Evils.
Is that when they changed?
They kind of changed the direction.
Oh, Chris, by the way, it did come out on the GameCube, Resident Evil 4. I just looked it up. Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it came out on the GameCube. I think it did come out on the GameCube first, and then they may have released it.
Is it?
Yeah, it was originally released on the GameCube.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I knew it came out on the Wii, and I knew it came out on the PS4 afterwards. I completely forgot it came out on the GameCube.
Yeah, came out on the GameCube.
Makes sense. It's been remastered so many times I forgot where it started.
Yeah.
But basically, that was a really good game. That was my first proper Resident Evil game. I played that one first, and I went back to play the other ones, even though I played like Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation when I was younger. But yeah, it was just really good. It felt like there was a lot of action elements, but you still had that kind of horror feel. Even I remember the way I don't even know if you can call them zombies because they just look like humans. I think this was the first game where the zombies just looked like regular villagers, and I think that was a bit creepy in itself. It wasn't as scary, so you weren't in really dark places like you were in the Resident Evil 1 to 3, and there wasn't that feeling of claustrophobia because there was a lot of open spaces, but I feel like the mechanics were really, really good, and it got to a point where it's like you almost forget it's a horror game. And it even had the quick time events and everything. But yeah, that's one. The other one that I don't really hear people talk about, but I remember it getting a lot of praise at the time it came out, was House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii. I know that game got like a Guinness World Record for the most, I think it was the most swear words in the game. Yeah, the most swear words in the game.
Wii.
On the Wii, yeah, House of the Dead Overkill. It was really fun. It was my first, because it was kind of like a rail shooter.
Okay.
It was a rail shooter, but it was really fun. I remember finishing it in like a day, but I remember thinking, wow, this was quite interesting. And it's not like the other House of the Dead where it's just really eerie and part of the fear is the graphics. I don't know if you played them in the arcades, but I remember seeing House of the Dead, the first one, and it just used to creep me out because the graphics were so bad. Yeah. It's just a really, really creepy game.
Yeah.
And then the other really good one I'd probably say comes to mind is Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead is really, really
fun.
fun.
Oh, Left 4 Dead has some scary. Was the Left 4 Dead one with that witch?
Yeah.
That witch that was hard to kill or something. It was impossible to kill. Yeah.
I remember playing it I was playing Left 4 Dead for the first time, killing all the zombies and whatnot. And you just see some witch. And I remember playing with someone, and he was like, "Leave her alone." It's like, I've been killing everyone. It's like, leave her alone. You shoot at her, yeah, and she screams, and it's like everything freezes, and she just runs at you. She's so hard to kill. And I remember thinking, what the hell have I done? I remember actually panicking. I was panicking, but yeah, I think those three are probably my favorite that I played. Played a couple others that probably come to mind, but those ones were like games that I actually enjoyed them for the games they were, and not just because they caused some cheap thrills and whatnot.
Yeah. As you were talking, I just remembered actually there's one more recent by an indie developer, and there's one called Clock Tower.
I've heard of Clock Tower.
Clock Tower, very old one, and I just remembered how scary that was, even just as someone just watching, because the main character that you have to control is so useless and the scenarios you're put in are so terrifying. It's the kind of thing where she has like a heart rate meter kind of thing on the bottom of the screen, and anything that's like distressing to see or anything that jumps out at her just like raises the meter. So if she comes to like an event where there's like essentially like a mini boss kind of character and she has to start running, if you've raised her heart rate too much, you like can't run without like stumbling or tripping, and it makes it even harder to escape.
Oh, serious.
So all these kind of things, yeah, just that game, the fact that she can't fight, she can barely run, like she can't do nothing, and you're in these situations and you have to just survive. I think that's
she's a bomb.
The essence of a horror game. It's like, imagine if I was in this situation, just how useless I would be. That's what made it so scary. Like she can't do nothing to save herself. She could just try and run or try and hide because she can't run. And there's also, it's a game, I don't know if you would have heard of it. It's by an independent developer. I think he's just a one-man show, basically. It's called Faith. So it's this horror game. He's developing a trilogy. And it's set in 1980s, kind of like Midwest US. I don't know if you remember the whole like satanic panic that was going on in the US around that time.
Which was a hoax and all rubbish.
Yeah. So that's around the time where they said Dungeons and Dragons is turning children to Satanism and all that shit during that whole period. Yeah, during that whole period. So it's set in that kind of time period. And the main character is a priest. His name is John. And it's this whole thing where he had to deliver this exorcism 2 years prior to when the first game started. And it was a complete failure. The girl was possessed and not murdering her whole family. And he had to like flee for his life. And then he's been haunted by nightmares ever since. So he goes back behind the back. He hasn't been like approved to go by the Vatican or anything. He's just gone rogue, basically. He says he has to finish what he started. So he goes back to the house where it happened to finish off the exorcism, basically. And then the second game kind of builds on from that. Even if you get the good end from the first game, the second game builds on from that. And things just take a turn from the worst. And it gets even deeper because you don't know whether what he's experiencing is actually real and he is being like haunted by demons and they're like chasing him, or if he's just lost his mind and everything's a hallucination. And the graphics as well it's like 8-bit graphics like on the Atari, so very simple. And here and there there's like rotoscope animations. So he basically is like animating with like the characters and stuff, and he like draws over it. But yeah, the music is very simple as well, the graphics are very simple, but I think just the themes of it is very, very creepy, and he's just really effective at creating that kind of like tension and atmosphere. So yeah, I think you should check it out. if you have time. It's a very good series.
What you just said actually reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's.
I did watch that one too.
Yeah, actually, I didn't play. I watched a bit of that, but I remember there's loads of segments where it's like kind of like Atari graphics, and it's not scary in itself. But I watched a lot of game theory episodes. This was years back. I know it's probably gone.
You made like 20 videos on Five Nights at Freddy's. I remember that.
Yeah, but I think they're still going, some of these videos.
Oh, really?
But I remember at the time learning about the story, how it was meant to represent a real life situation, how everything was just really dark. When we find out who the real, up until that part of the game, when we find out who the real murderer is, why these animatronics are bugging out. And it was pretty creepy, but that needed to be explained before it became scary. I don't think it would have been as scary without, these YouTubers doing the research and doing the background work.
Yeah, I think that's why Faith was so effective, because regardless of whichever one is true, whether he's being targeted by demons or he's lost his mind, either scenario is very scary.
It's horrible.
So it's terrifying. And the fact that being able to create that kind of atmosphere is that he's a designer, he's a programmer, he's everything. Like, it was really cool. And when we're talking about what was the game we mentioned that we weren't sure? The Last of Us, and also was it the Madhouse? Or was
Mad World.
Mad World, yeah. So I was just going on Wikipedia just to jog my memory, what the best-selling horror games and stuff, and they kind of described just a basic definition of horror video games as games with horror fiction elements. So I'm thinking, if you go by that, then games that feature demons and monsters and hell and zombies would be classified as horror games. But as people who play these games, you know that there's a distinction to be made. I would consider The Last of Us as a horror game, but I can see why people would not. And then for games, there's other games we talked about just now, they're hack and slash games, and they got scary elements, but that in itself doesn't make them horror games. So I'm just wondering, where do you draw the distinction?
I think because a lot of these games are very multifaceted, there's loads of different themes and topics and even gameplay elements within these games. What we try and do as gamers is try and separate them by maybe what we consider the most important element or the most prevalent element in the game. So for example, if I'm playing Devil May Cry, the game is based all around demons, or let's say Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. It's based around demons.
And angels,
Demons and angels, and all sorts of esoteric symbolism throughout the game. The storyline is what Dante is the son of Satan and all sorts, but we know that action is what takes the front role in that game, and so we consider it a hack and slash more than we consider it a horror game. You wouldn't really consider it a horror game.
The way I was about to correct you on Dante's dad's name, but it's cool.
What's Dante's dad's name again?
It's Sparta.
Sparta.
Yeah, Sparta.
It's Sparta. Right? Yeah,
Sparta. Yeah, that was it.
Man said Satan.
No, but who's his mum? No, wait. Who's his mum?
We don't know his mum. It's just the reboot game made.
She's a regular human.
I'm sure. Yeah, his mum's a human.
Yeah, his mum's a human in most.
Hold up.
I think the.
Who is Dante's dad and who is Dante's?
I remember the DMC reboot one had his mum as an angel, but I feel
like I'm just thinking about Alucard.
Yes, Sparta.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah,
Sparta with a D.
Yes.
A mighty demon swordsman who's known as the legendary Dark Knight.
So he's half human, half demon. Anyway, both him, Dante, and his twin brother. But yeah. But I think the reboot one, DMC.
Hey, he's basically Satan, bro.
Literally, I looked at his human form. That's every depiction of Satan.
Yeah,
in media.
But yeah, but no, I get what you mean, because it's the Devil May Cry series and the Bayonetta series are basically hack and slash games, but they do have a lot of depictions that you could say that lead towards horrors, etc. With the demons, etc. But as you said, a lot of games are multifaceted, so
There's one game I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
It's current gen. I don't think it's particularly good, but it's a really, really like, this is horror. It's really, really like dark. Like, I think you're in hell, or you're in purgatory, you're trying to get to somewhere else, or I can't remember what game it was.
This sounds familiar. Do you know which console?
I think it's on PS4, probably on
PS4.
Steam as well. But I can't remember what it's called.
I'm trying to think as well.
It's got a single name for its title. Like it's the name of the game is a single word. But it's really like people just dying around you, like screams. You're in hell. I can't remember what it's called.
I feel like I'm gonna remember after we finish recording.
I remember seeing it. I'll try and find it anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
Agony, is it? Is it Agony?
I think.
Does that ring a bell, Chris?
I think
I just googled game that you escape in hell and it came out with Agony. It came out in 2018.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, maybe. It's Agony.
Never heard of it.
It's Agony. Yeah. Look at the cover.
Yeah, the player controls one of the martyrs.
That basically tells you what you need to know.
Yeah, you're tasked with meeting the red goddess in an effort to escape
Dear me.
the land of the living. Yeah, I think that's it, Chris.
Is that Baphomet? What the heck?
Not a clue.
Yeah, when you go to church, these things creep you out differently.
Yeah.
What's interesting discussion about like the themes in Devil May Cry and like Spada and everything, or is he basically like Satan and everything but name? Their mother, who was named Eva, didn't really go much into her like background or anything. She's just their mother. But there's a bit here about the etymology in on the Wikipedia. It says her name is basically just an alternate spelling of Eve. We know in scripture was tempted by the devil.
Yeah.
So just I don't know.
Interesting.
Just
Quite
did you know? So
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
A little bit of tribute for you guys. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, I'm even thinking of games that you kind of mix together. Even Diablo, the Diablo series.
Did you see that?
It was not a horror at all, but it just has a lot of themes.
Never played it.
Together.
No.
It's not really. I wouldn't call it a horror at all. It's not really. It's just it is an RPG. What kind of word did you say, Chris? It's more. Is it isometric?
Asymmetric.
That was it.
Yeah, the angle.
Yeah, the angle.
I can't remember what kind of RPG you'd call it, but it's first and foremost an RPG.
Yeah, it's first and foremost. It just has a lot of themes around hell, etc. The demons of hell.
I mean, the game is called Diablo.
Yeah, you got it from there. Diablo, one of the demons. Yeah, but yeah, there is a lot of games that you're trying to think. So have maybe some horror elements and not a horror per se.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like if I think about the games I played that do have all these elements and the ones I've actually like I found scary. I think the main point is there enough tension in the game like as you're playing that creates that kind of sense of fear that as you're playing? Because even though The Last of Us isn't like officially classified as a survival horror, I can see why people say it is, because there's parts in that game that are very tense.
Yeah,
like you're actually scared, like so yeah, I think that trumps it for me in whether I'd classify something as a horror game or not. Don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. I hear it. Hey, even the same tension that reminds me of when I was a kid playing some things in Super Mario 64 that gave me that kind of tension.
Now we're getting into another discussion because
I know.
the scary parts in games that are definitely not horror, they haven't got any horror elements at all and they're still scary.
Yeah.
The well in Ocarina of Time was the scariest thing. That's when I
stopped. Going down the well?
Going down the well, in the well, dead hand at the end, the whole well.
Yeah, the whole
Terrifying.
well. The Shadow Temple. That Shadow Temple, oh my gosh, that's a horror in itself.
That's when I let my cousin play, sorry,
the Shadow Temple is a horror in itself. The re-deads, the flipping hands, as you said.
War Masters are the worst thing.
Oh my gosh.
Parlay, we're going to stream this.
What are you streaming?
Ocarina of Time.
Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta go. Let's go.
Yeah, I've still got.
I'll do a young. I'll help you guys out, but I'll pass it back when you get to the Forest Temple, or when you get to Spirit Temple, or when you get to
Forest Temple.
That was scary. The music in the Forest Temple was
amazing. The music at the beginning, before the what are them hounds called again?
The wolves.
Wolfins, I can't remember.
They called something else.
Wolfos. Yeah.
Yeah, the music when you enter the Forest Temple, you're just like, oh, what?
It's got that weird music, and then the hounds coming right at the beginning. The wolfos, they're coming right at the beginning before you enter it.
Just like that.
Yeah, I remember it very well.
The Forest Temple, that music was creepy.
Yeah.
Hated it.
And then you had the laughing of the witches.
Yeah. No, it's the laughing for me. It's the laughing for me.
Playing these dungeons as a kid. Oh my word!
I don't know how I played this. You know what? I had to
play them at daylight with the windows wide open, curtains open, everything.
Take your console to the living room, so your mum's there. And you...
Yeah.
I used to play Ocarina of Time with my cousins, right? And
same, yeah.
It was all good. Things took a lot longer back then because you just weren't as good as games, and we were a bit dumb.
And there was no walkthroughs.
You had to get it from magazines or something.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I went into Hyrule Field. I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is massive. I can go here, I can go there.
In the sunset.
And then it turned to night, and then it became
And then the music starts changing.
What's going on here?
And then it's night. It's like, oh, cool, this is nighttime. Everything's all gravy. And then you just hear that bloody sound. And then arseholes coming out of the ground.
Yes.
No.
Stalfos?
No,
Stalfos.
Stalfos.
They're not Stalfos, are they?
No,
it's not Stalfos. Stalfos are the ones with the shields.
Never mind. Yeah. No, sorry.
Yeah,
but them ones, the skeletons. Yeah.
The skeletons, yeah, whatever. They come out. And you're thinking, what the hell? I was like, nope, not playing this.
As an adult playing Ocarina of Time, I was like, if it's nighttime in Hyrule Field, I'm gonna wait.
You
wait a bit.
When you get the Ocarina, you just change the time all the
time. I'm even remembering as well that when the first time I saw one of them, I was shook. I went back to Koruki Forest and I didn't come back out. I didn't come back out. I stayed there for time.
You have to wait there till
Hyrule can save itself. I'm good. It's above.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm alright, man. I'm good. Not enjoy. You lot deal with Ganondorf while I wait here.
What was your reaction the first time you saw a Red in Wind Waker in the Wind?
Oh my god!
I think that's the worst design for the Red in the whole series.
Version. That's the scariest version of Red-Deads.
Because they look kind of like humans, and it's not just like shapeless husks that actually look like.
Hands down, the scariest.
It's gonna sound problematic, but they kind of look like Maasai warriors with like the drawing.
I think they're designed to look like Maasai warriors.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into that because whatever, but that also makes them like so scary.
Yeah,
I think the way like the mouth
and the length of their mouths is just
as well. Really, oh my
and the way the screech halts you.
Yes.
Yes.
The screamers are so bad.
Terrible.
Did we have Red-Deads in Breath of the Wild?
No.
In fact, fuck for that because I don't know if I would have beat that game if we had War Masters and Field Masters.
Yeah, to be fair, Guardians are pretty damn scary.
No, Guardians are terrifying.
Yeah, Guardians. Yeah, at the start of Breath of the Wild, Guardians are terrifying because you hear that music and then you know it's long. You hear the piano. You hear the piano going. You're like, nope, I'm out of here.
Rent free. That
what gets me is from how far they chase you from and how far they can see you.
Yeah, why did you see me?
So far! It's like,
how you see me? Even the ones that can't even like chase you.
The stationary ones.
The kind of the slightly inactive ones. They can zap you from like the other end of the field. I don't understand.
Nah, that piano gives you PTSD whenever you hear that. The keys going and you're just like, nope, I'm out of here.
Like Lionel's are scary, but
Guardians are worse.
It's not on the same level.
It's not on the same level, man. Not on the same level at all.
But I'm saying this now, but when I go and play Masterman again and buck up Lionel on the Great Plateau, and I'm up with it at the beginning, I'll change my moods.
Yeah, I'm so involved because once I'm trying
to. Oh no, go on.
No, I'm saying I'm just interested to see Ponley like play Master Mode, because the standard game was already like a workout for me and my brain. So I think when I see someone who knows how to play the
Master
game,
Mode is going to be so much worse, because
it's going to be so much fun.
With enemies regaining health as well when you don't attack, and you go, you're gonna see a lot of game overs when I play.
Blood Moon as well. That was pretty creepy.
The first time I got Blood Moon, I said, "What the fuck happened?" I thought I did something I wasn't meant to. Like, what now?
I was thinking like, well, I was seeing it get something. I was looking at this, why is something red like that? Then I'm seeing all these dark and red particles coming around. I'm like, this don't look good.
And then she says that thing, Blood Moon is rising.
I hate Zelda's voice actress in Breath of the Wild. I had to look her up because I was so annoyed. Patricia Somerset. She's Canadian.
Ew.
You couldn't find one British actress from the home counties to voice Princess Zelda. Her accent is terrible.
Oh man, yeah. We see a lot of games do have a bit, give you that sense of horror, as we discussed here, is a bit as well. But
I like this conversation because I can contribute more, because I don't play horror games. So like horror sections in games that aren't horror that we've like.
What's the worst jump scare you've ever had in the game?
Ooh, I remember one of them as a kid. Funny enough, this is funny because this is from Banjo-Kazooie. As a kid, did anyone ever play Banjo-Kazooie?
Yeah.
Do you remember Clanker's Cavern, Chris? I remember those monsters that came out of the wall.
Ah, yes.
The first time I heard that, that growling noise. Then one came out at me. I screamed. I screamed as a kid.
That game was surprisingly creepy at times.
No, it was. It had some creepy. No, a lot of creepy stuff. Remember, like there was some bits like Gobi's Valley. Where you had that labyrinth. You didn't make it out of the labyrinth in time. You had spikes come down on you and kill you. This is the kids' game. This is the kids' game. You're getting killed by spikes. It gives you a first-person view when the spikes come down onto you.
Do you remember there was a thing about your game being deleted?
Yeah, but it actually
happens.
Works.
Yeah, it actually works.
That's mad. Yeah, it actually happens. You enter the cheat too many times, it'll delete your game.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get warned.
Yeah.
And then if you don't listen and you continue, it deletes your game.
And they follow through with it. It's actually mad. You go in there and the game's completely erased. But yeah, that game even had a lot of creepy stuff, as Chris said. Even the game over screen was quite creepy, because you see that was all about Gruntilda trying to steal your sister's looks. Then with the game over, she does it, and your sister comes out as some grotesque bear, some scary grotesque bear, which is a bit, even that was creepy.
It's these things that were like kind of like calm to you as a kid, and you look back on it as an adult, and like that was it. That was right.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, man.
Yeah, it's a bit weird
for a game that's probably a 3+ or 7+, probably a 7+.
Okay, maybe 3+.
Probably a 7.
Maybe 7+.
What about you, Toots? What jump scares have you had?
I'm trying to think. I think a lot of things that creep me out aren't necessarily like jump scare things. It's just like, it's the suspense of it that is scary to me. But just like, if we're talking about like games we played as kids, the possessed piano in Mario 64, because when you go up to it, nothing happens initially, and then just out of nowhere, the piano has teeth.
Yes.
Chasing you out the room. Like, what was the reason? And it's so loud.
You know, that was one of the reasons why I let my friend do Boo's Mansion for me, because that was the sole reason I didn't like going Boo's Mansion.
I forgot Boo's Mansion was a level. Now I'm stuck. I'm not going to beat this game again.
The piano with teeth in Boo's Mansion is that when you go down and the teeth come and attack you. Yeah, I did not want to touch that level.
And
Jolly Roger Bay with the eel.
The fucking eel. I just encountered that eel. I was like, I'm not gonna get all the stars here,
Ugly ass.
I was like, I'm not gonna get all the stars here, am I?
Them ones, I let my friend do them stars, because at the time, the kid, even that, funny enough, I was even scared. I don't know why I was scared of the dinosaur. You know, in what's the name of that level? Metal something. I can't remember. You know when you go into that pool of metal to go into that level, that one. You know you got that Nessie kind of dinosaur in the bottom.
Oh, the little Loch Ness monster type thing.
Yeah, but someone told me that if you ground pounded it enough, it'll eat you. So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to do that level either.
I think my cousin told me something similar. Like,
don't
go near it.
Yeah, Yeah, someone told me that, and I just didn't want to go near it. That made me not do the level or that part because I thought about grandpa that would eat me, and I that and the fish as well, and tiny giant island or whatever it's called.
I don't remember the level names, I just remember the features.
But just remember when you're in the giant version of the island, the fish that eats you.
Oh, okay.
My mind, that thing swallowed me whole. I didn't want to go in the swim in the water again.
Yeah. This was an optional dungeon in Wind Waker, but did you guys play the pirate ship?
Yes.
I'm sure I did.
The pirate ship. Yeah. And like the whole thing is kind of like creepy anyway, because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, because you just you have to find...
Part?
I don't know what like point in the game you can complete it, but I feel like it has to be like towards the end.
Yeah, I think
there has to be a certain amount of time you can actually see the pirate ship. Then you can actually dock onto the pirate ship and get the extra stuff. And there's the whole thing is kind of scary, but there's a bit right at the end. You're like, okay, you're done. You ready to go back? And you're like, okay, fine. You're finally done. And then for no reason at all, there's just this like wild cackling, like really loud. And Link kind of like jumps in the game and freezes, and then it just does the transition to the next scene, and you're back on your boat. But for no reason, they just want to give you one more heart attack before you're done.
Hell, man!
And that freaked me out.
It's weird as hell.
Like, yeah, just for no reason. Like, there's no enemy afterwards. It just jump scare, and then you're back on your boat. Yeah.
I think my one has been the jump scare I can remember most fondly was
fondly,
Yes. BioShock.
Never played BioShock.
So BioShock is a bit creepy anyway. Like there's a lot of creepy elements to it, but I wouldn't really consider it a horror. Right, so there's an area you go to in the game. It looks like there's a dentist chair, right?
Scary already.
You're going around, you're picking up items, you're doing stuff. And then I think on a dentist chair, you just see like, I can't remember. I think you might see bones or limbs or something. So obviously, naturally, you look at the dentist chair. It's like, what the hell is this? You just look at it stuff. You turn around, the dentist is standing right in front of you. I remember I dropped my Xbox 360 controller. When you start going, you go to the menu screen and then it's all over the place, man. I was like, what the hell is this?
Things like that is why I feel like if I buy a horror game, like I'd just be wasting my money because I know what something like that happens. I'm like, right, that's right. that's me done.
Honestly,
I'm gonna play Splatoon, right, and be done with it.
The other thing, Call of Duty.
Really? Zombie mode.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
2020. Not even the zombie mode.
Oh, really?
Essentially, in celebration of Halloween.
I've seen a clip. Yeah, I think I know what you're about to say. Yeah,
I need to look this up.
So, you open a loot box. Obviously, you're looting for items. You're playing Warzone. You're looting for items. You need to get items as quickly as possible so you can get money and whatever. Pick up an item. You get the craziest jump scare for no reason. Just opening a box. Just YouTube it. You'll see it. There's plenty. I think I put one in the group.
You did it for Halloween?
I've seen it.
For Halloween.
I've seen it.
I put one in the
scary face come up. Yeah, I think you posted.
I'm gonna watch it after this.
It's all sorts. It's all different ones. But it's just the problem with it is that you can't anticipate it. You can't. It can just happen randomly.
As they were programming that in, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna get them with this one."
Honestly, that's why we need to stream Call of Duty just for that. Honestly, just for that. You don't know when it's gonna happen. You don't know if it's gonna happen, but when it does happen, it is creepy as hell. Zelda's very scary.
Zelda is very scary.
Zelda's very scary. Has a scary moment.
I'm thinking of every Zelda I played. Except
Breath of the Wild.
Except for the
I think the absence of proper structured dungeons kind of eliminates that. And they got rid of a lot of the scarier enemies. They aren't there. If Breath of the Wild had 3 deads, I know they would be terrifying.
Word. Yeah, they would be terrifying.
And looking at the trailer for the sequel, it looks like they might
I think they're
gonna up the ante. They're gonna up the ante and the dark shit.
I was realizing, I think with the trailer of Breath of the Wild 2, I think they're gonna bring back Red Dead.
It looked like a re-dead.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think the re-deads are coming back.
And if they look like that, then we move, I guess. Because it looked terrifying.
So what horror games are you guys going to be playing this week?
None.
Me.
But I will watch y'all.
I'll watch you lot play horror games.
I'll leave that to you guys.
I'll watch the sidelines. I will
watch you guys stream COD.
We need to play Left 4 Dead.
We do need to play Left 4 Dead though. If I'm playing with friends, I can play horror.
I really wish it was on PlayStation.
Same.
We should have got that Friday 13th game. It was free. PlayStation Plus.
Is it still free? Is it still free?
I don't. It was a couple of months back. It was free.
But yeah, any multiplayer horror games, I can hack it. This has been a great conversation, guys.
That's been fun. That's been fun to do.
It's been us. So when we drop the episode, at us on Twitter, let us know which horror games you've been playing. Let us know how badly you were judging Ponley and I for being scared over games that weren't scary. All that good stuff. So I've been Tuds. I've been joined by Ponley and Chris. 304's Academia. Follow us on Twitch. We just made affiliate, so expect a lot more consistent content here on out.
You may see a clip of me doing the most stupid dance ever once we hit the 50th
we have a clip saved of the exact moment we realized we reached affiliate. It was something. But yeah, follow us on Twitch. We stream 4 times a week. We stream horror games, we stream Nintendo games, multiplayer, we do like a variety stream on Mondays. And very soon, keep an eye out for any live events. We just want to do more like live podcast recordings and interact with the fans more and all that good stuff in our community. Join the Discord. Everything's in the link tree. And yeah, that's been us. Bye.
Bye, guys.